Hi, I'm Jennifer Kelly, and I'm the chair of the APOR Education Subcommittee that is organizing the 2019 APOR SAT Talent Competition. In this video, some of our 2018 competitors will give an update on their activities since the competition. If you are unfamiliar with AGT or need a refresher on what is AGT, please watch the video What is AGT before you view this video. Our first presenter is Allison Holbrook, the 2018 AGT Grand Prize winner. Her winning research design is titled Surveys, Public Opinion and Democracy, a Youth Education Initiative. Allison will give you a brief summary of the design and then talk about how she is moving her idea forward. Our second update will come from Sarah Kelly, who is representing the AIR team, and Jenny Hunter-Childs from the U.S. Census Bureau, who has been working with the AIR team to advance the research design, Public Opinion in Space and Time, a Geospatial View of Public Attitudes Towards Surveys. Allison?
Our proposal was designed in collaboration with the survey student group at the University of Illinois at Chicago. It addressed one of the issues identified for the 2008 APOR's Got Talent competition, attitudes towards surveys and public opinion research. The proposal focused on developing two programs designed to increase awareness and understanding among K-12 students in the United States about surveys and public opinion research. We focused on attitudes and knowledge among younger Americans because we believe students don't currently learn a great deal about these topics, and this would contribute to the lack of understanding and knowledge of adult Americans. We also believe that these initiatives would be appealing to teachers and administrators in K-12 schools because surveys and public opinion research are relevant to both the STEM, or Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math initiative, and also teaching civic engagement. The proposal had two components. The first component involved developing a curriculum for K-12 students designed to teach students about surveys and public opinion research that targets the nexus of math, science, and civic engagement and democracy. The initial proposal was to develop a series of units to be used by teachers in different grades. This part of the proposal would be developed in collaboration with teachers and a curriculum expert. The second part of the proposal involved developing materials for 60 to 90-minute presentations that could be targeted to different grade groups and given at schools. This portion of the proposal involved developing materials for in-person presentations and recruiting and training volunteers to give the presentations, a program somewhat similar to the Send a Speaker program designed to send speakers to colleges and universities that APOR is currently piloting, but designed for K-12 schools. In addition, we proposed creating recordings of these presentations to be made available online for schools where it was not possible to send a live speaker. These presentations would also include follow-up materials for teachers describing activities that could be done to build on the proposed presentations. We received a great deal of positive feedback about our proposal and how it fits with APOR's long-term goals to affect change in how the public perceives surveys and public opinion research. Recently, APOR Executive Council voted to form an ad hoc education subcommittee to explore the options for developing curriculum materials or activities for K-12 students. One suggestion we received from the panel during our APOR presentation was to explore the work that the Census Bureau has done in developing materials to teach K-12 students about the census and census data, the Stats in Schools program. As part of our initial information gathering, we had an informational interview with an individual involved in developing the materials for this program. Part of this program is designed to provide teachers with resources to integrate census data with different areas of study through sets of activities. For example, the census has developed and made available to teachers activities for geography, history, and math classes that use census data. And these materials were developed collaboratively by groups of subject experts, census experts, and teachers. This process provides one model as the APOR subcommittee works on developing a proposal for constructing a set of activities related to survey methods and public opinion research that could be used by K-12 teachers. Future plans for this work include developing a more detailed proposal for the APOR Executive Council. Our goal is to first develop a specific set of topic areas and take-home points around which to develop materials for activities. For example, developing materials for activities about sampling and probability for math classes, and materials for activities about the role of public opinion in history. In addition to identifying a set of topic areas, we plan to lay out a process for developing materials and resources for each activity based loosely on the process followed by the Census Bureau. It will be essential to have experts on both surveys and public opinion involved in the process, but also to involve teachers directly in the development and pre-testing of these materials. Our initial goal is to have a proposal to put before APOR's Executive Council by the end of this Council's term. The next step is to select a small set of core activities and initiate a pilot program to develop materials for those core activities. We will then build on the pilot experiences to develop materials for additional activities. The final goal is to have a set of activities that are freely available to teachers that will help students to better understand surveys and public opinion research and to see their relevance to the subjects that they're studying.
So our entry for April's Got Talent last year was Public Opinion in Space and Time, a geospatial view of public attitudes towards surveys. We were hoping to address the core issue of non-response and public attitudes towards surveys. As we all know, people are responding less to surveys, and that's a thing that the survey community has been very worried about. So we sought to develop an open source tool, so one that anyone could use, which predicts at very narrow geographic and time levels the response rates to surveys. And to create this tool, we're going to integrate traditional data sources like demographics and public opinion data about belief in science, trust in surveys, trust in the government, and the like, along with voting behavior, community survey, service involvement, and new data sources, including data from social media and news data. Our goal is to produce a web tool that survey researchers could use to figure out what the expected response rates to their surveys were and use that for survey planning purposes, as much like the mock-up that you see on the screen here. So far, we've been able to gather all of the social media and news media data that we need for this survey, focusing on social media conversations about the census, surveys, and trust in the government and data security overall. We've also sampled from local news media outlets and integrated that with the traditional demographic, civic engagement, and response rate data sources. We're also developing a collaboration with the U.S. Census Bureau, which my collaborator Jenny will tell you about in a minute. So that's how far we've got so far. And our next steps here, we're going to create and evaluate our predictive model that actually predicts the response rates and develop a beta version of the tool to share with researchers and get user feedback on how that works. Then we're going to seek funding to develop a finalized version of the tool that hopefully you guys will be using in the next few years.
Hi, this is Jenny Childs from the Census Bureau. So I was a participant, or not a participant, an audience member in APOR's Got Talent last year, and it's become one of my favorite APOR activities. So as an audience member, I saw Sarah and her team present on this idea for a new tool. At the Census Bureau, we use some of these things already. So she mentioned environmental and participation rates. On these fronts, we have a tool called the Planning Database, the Low Response Score, and the Response Outreach Area Mapper. We're also measuring trust. We had a survey in the field, the Federal Statistical System Public Opinion Survey from 2012 through 2018. So we have 6 years of data collection, a rather large data set that looks at belief in the confidentiality of data, trust in the Federal Statistical System, views on privacy invasion, and belief in the relevance and necessity of the data. And these are nationally representative, so they have a geographic component to them as well. So we have not, at the Census Bureau, looked at these things together, nor have we looked at it with social media as Sarah and her team were proposing. So based on this experience at APOR's Got Talent, we have formed a collaboration, and we're currently working on doing analysis, combining our data sets and doing some analysis of the overlapping data sets and writing papers for conferences. But we also, at the Census Bureau, this became an impetus for us to make the public opinion survey that we collected into public data, just seeing how useful this could be to researchers like Sarah. It gave me the inspiration of actually making this a public use data set, something that we might not have done had it not been for APOR's Got Talent. So if you're interested in learning more about APOR's Got Talent, I'm just going to show you the website. This is the website for APOR's Got Talent, and go there for more information.
Bye.